The king's back. 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 The king's back.
What up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and this is my weekly Zepbound update where I come on to talk about what's been going on since I've been taking the GLP-1 known as Zepbound. Right before I was scheduled to go live, I saw that the White House was doing some news about, what are they calling this? They call it Trump delivers remarks from the Oval Office about weight loss drug and affordability. So I'm just going to click play, watch this video, and see what that is all about here. So let me share my screen. I've got to make sure that audio can be heard, and I would like to hear what this is all about here and watch it. So we're gonna watch this first. Let me see. I'll keep it this way.
70%, 78%, a little bit more than that. So today I'm thrilled to announce that the two world's largest pharmaceutical manufacturers, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, have agreed to offer their most popular GLP-1 weight loss drug. I wrote the fact of
He said he calls them the fat drug. Hey, remember back in the day when people said there was no such thing as a weight loss drug or weight loss pill? Give things time. If there's a way to create something, humans will find a way to do it.
at drastic discounts. They're very effective drugs. And so far, I've never heard anything bad about them. I only hear good about them. It's pretty. Is there anything bad about them, Rob? Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad.
Someday maybe it'll come out, which will notify you immediately. So far, I haven't heard that, including the drugs known as Zepbound and Wegovy, often called Ozempic. This is a triumph for American patients that will save lives and improve the health of millions and millions of Americans. Amazing thing. They are amazing. I want to thank Eli Lilly CEO David Ricks, a friend of mine, We worked long and hard. He and I got this whole thing started in a way. And Novo Nordisk CEO Mike Dustar for joining us today. Great, talented people. They make a lot of money. I looked at the money, but they're entitled to the money because the companies are doing very well. Along with Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary Howard Lutnick. You take any of this stuff, Howard?
Not yet.
Okay, good. CMS Administrator Mehmet Oz, he doesn't take it. Food and Drug Administrator, Commissioner Marty McCary, and Director of Medicare Chris Plump. And we have Steve, where's Steve? Is he here? Head of Public Relations for the White House. He's taking it. The United States is
I'm taking
4%
Zepbound.
of the world's population and consumes only 13% of all prescription drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits from their American customer. I would say that's not so good, right? It's not exactly right. To address this chronic unfairness, I signed an executive order earlier this year instructing my administration to do everything in our power to implement most favored nations drug pricing, something that has been helped greatly by tariffs, because when nations refuse to do it, we should have put this in the case yesterday.
Let me pause. He talked about the tariffs, right? I'm not the smartest apple in the bushel, but from what I've seen with some of these tariff costs, the tariff costs aren't coming down on the businesses. They're coming down to the consumers. So the consumers themselves are paying for the cost of the tariffs that are being imposed on certain countries. Am I thinking about that wrong? I'm doing well, Amelia. So if you don't have headphones on, do you have captions on? Let me know. Do you have captions on? Because I'm leading myself to believe that you're a bot. But if not, and you have captions on and you're listening to me, that's dope. Thank you.
I just say, well, if you're not going to do it, we're going to charge you a like amount of tariffs. And they immediately say, we'll do it. Which means that Americans should pay no more than the lowest price offered anywhere in the world. So that you've heard for years the disparity where you'll pay $150 for a pill in New York and you'll pay $10 for a pill in London. Now you're going to pay $20 both, because the world is a little bit bigger than the US, so it goes up that way. But you'll pay $20 and $20. A tremendous advantage to our country after years of being abused by the world system. Already Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and EMD, Serrano, have agreed to drastically lower their prices for American patients, and today Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are joining the phenomenal list of the most exciting announcements. I mean, nobody's ever had announcements like, and this has to do with other pharmaceutical products also. But we're covering this today because it's such a big seller. I guess it's the number one selling thing there is today. These are two companies that are behind the groundbreaking weight loss drugs that have helped millions of Americans struggling with obesity live better, longer lives, everything else. These are the two companies that really broke that.
Man, it's not about looking better. While looking better is definitely a fantastic byproduct, right? When you look better, you feel better. It's about your health, really, overall. So for me, I was prescribed the weight loss drug Zepbound because of my heart condition. I have what's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. That's a long, long word, a lot of syllables. Lately I've been having some arrhythmia episodes as well, that for me, at the weight that I started at 288. I was damn near almost 300 pounds. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Bad diet, bad sleep, heart condition that really prevented me from being as active as I used to be when I was younger, and getting older. When you factor in a whole lot of things as you get older, that's what happens, right? So I've been getting better sleep. thanks to that and a couple of other things. I've got a CPAP, all of that jazz, because of the sleep apnea. I'm having a lot less food cravings while taking the GLP-1, and I'm down to, I was 271 today, was 270 the other day, which 270 was the lowest that I had been since I had been on it. I was hoping to have been under 270 by the time that I had this update, but that didn't happen. So I was like 271.1 this this morning. And I ate a little bit of pasta yesterday, which I think contributed to that. So losing the weight for me going forward, and other people that have taken it, they're doing it with the combination of changing their diet and exercise and being more active. Since I'm furloughed, that's what I've been doing this week. I've been getting out, I've been more active, consulting with my cardiologist about things that I could do to be more active within the safety parameters for the conditions that I've got, right? So when he talked about the first thing about looking better, yes, that is a side effect. I'm definitely going to be excited to see what happens or how I look when I'm under 220. So let's hear everything else that he has to say.
Until now, neither of these two popular drugs have been covered by Medicare for weight loss, and they've only rarely been covered by Medicaid. They've often cost consumers more than $1,000 per month, and some a lot more than that. Americans have been spending as much as 520%.
Keith, what's up, man?
Zepbound, and 1,400% more for Wegovy than patients in Europe. Think of that. 1,400% more than a patient you'll get the exact same box. And that ends starting today. The other countries are not happy with us. I don't think they like me too much, Bobby, but it's okay. Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are committing to offer Zepbound and Wegovy at most favored nations rates for American patients. This will slash the cost of Wegovy from $1,350 a month to ultimately $250.
Okay. Do I have a let me see, hold on.
It gotta be drugs.
Nope. I was hoping that I had like a hand clap emoji or something. That's good. That is good for the people that need it, right? Because when you look at the cost of these products like Wegovy or Zepbound without insurance, many of the name brand ones can run anywhere from $900 to $1,300 a month. And I'm getting those figures from people that talk about it online, on Reddit posts and things of that nature. My insurance covers it completely, and I am thankful for that. I am 100% thankful for that. I am aware of somebody who they're paying about $400 a month, and that is with their insurance lowering the cost. And they said for them that $400 a month is worth it. They've lost 65 pounds since they've been taking it, and they've got a little bit more pep in their step and things like that. But I want you to hear what I'm saying when I say that. You have this weight loss drug that I don't know the science behind it about exactly like how it works. I can tell you for me, it cuts out all that food noise. Like I don't wake up, use the restroom, wash my face, and think I got to get breakfast in the morning like that. No, now I'm primarily eating when my body's telling me you've got to put nutrients inside of it. When I first started taking it, I actually had to put a timer on my phone to make myself eat because it's that effective. I'm at the 500 milligram. I'm at the 5 milligram dose rate now, and it's working. What I do notice though is that towards the last day or two, it starts to kind of taper off, and I've got that feeling of, oh man, I'm hungry a lot sooner. Okay. So the White House announcing this, it's one thing. We're going to see if that cost actually comes down though. That's the thing. You can announce all the things. You can write off all these executive orders. But let's see how this actually affects the pocketbooks of the consumers that's using it.
A month. 1,350 to 250. Did I do a good job? They don't write about it. You know, they like to not write these things. And reduce. You think Biden could have done this? I don't think so. And reduce the monthly cost of Zepbound from $1,080 to $346. In addition, they're both committing that future GLP-1 weight loss drugs taken orally, which are currently under development, will be sold at no more than $149 per month.
I find that interesting. Right now, I take the shot, the Zepbound shot, take it right in my stomach. I believe I have a video that I'm going to upload that's going to showcase me taking the shot. I don't know if I have it scheduled already. I've already recorded it and did it, but I can't recall if I posted it yet. And the shot is one of those automatic injectors. So if you're somebody that's not a fan of needles and things like that, this type of technology is dope, right? If you're somebody that takes testosterone or you have to take shots for anything, you know how just it's not work per se, but you gotta do the thing and put the medicine in the syringe and draw it up in one syringe and take that needle out and then put the injection syringe in and stick it wherever you're supposed to stick it to for whatever shot that you're taking. And that's work. With Zepbound, I don't know how the other ones work. The one that I have, it's an auto injector. Place it where I'm going to place it, press a button, it sticks me, it injects it, and then 10 seconds later, I'm putting it in the trash can. Fantastic. So if they're going to develop some oral medications that you could take, and it's just as effective, I'm all for that. I'd rather take something orally, pause, than take shots.
It's a massive, think of that. You go from $1,300 to $149 a month. We anticipate these new versions will be coming out in a very short period of time. All of these drugs will be available directly to the consumer at TrumpRx.gov. Trump, they want to use my name. Trump, better be good. TrumpRx.gov. I think it's turning out to be pretty amazing. Just as significantly, Medicare and Medicaid will finally cover the cost of these weight loss drugs for millions of patients suffering from obesity. Co-pays for Medicare patients will be as low as $50. This is tremendous savings. I mean, now you're talking about from $1,350 to $50.
Keith said, I started changing my eating habits earlier in the summer after reading and watching some videos that appealed to how I live. I made some subtle changes based on that info back in July and August, and I am down 25 pounds as of this week. Bravo, man. Bravo. That's dope. And that's where it starts. That's what I'm trying to get to as well. Like, now that I'm furloughed, right? Now that I'm furloughed and my time, I don't gonna say a lot more time, but I definitely have more time for it. For different things or whatnot. I'm trying to get myself into better habits so that when the furlough ends and I'm back to work, I can implement those new habits into my new time regime, so to speak. You got 24 hours in a day. How you make use of that 24 hours is up to you. For now, since I'm furloughed, I have a lot more time, but I do need to get into those better habits going forward. You also said, why is he stopping there? What about insulin, my gout medicine? Man, yes. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm thankful for my insurance. I just started having gout last year. I didn't know what it was. I had heard of gout, but I thought that the gout was like an old person's disease when I was growing up. And then my foot swelled one time, or was it my whole? No, it was just my big toe. And I'm like, man, I don't know what this is. If y'all got to cut it out, cut it off. But that pain sucked. And that's when I got my first diagnosis. I said, wait, what? Gout? Gout? Me? No. I don't have gout. I'm not 60. I don't need orthopedic shoes with fat laces. And then I kept getting it and kept getting it, and it sucked. So now I'm on a daily regimen, if you will. Besides the stuff that I take for my heart, I take colchicine and allopurinol daily. And since I've been I was just taking just allopurinol at 100 milligrams a day. And I changed what I was eating because I said, okay, what are the things, high in purines, that seem to cause people to have gout? And I started eliminating that stuff. I say eliminate it, straight eliminate it, or reducing it, right? And I was still getting frequent gout attacks. But since I've been on colchicine daily and they jacked up my allopurinol from 100 milligrams to 300, I have had 0 gout attacks. And I'm crossing my fingers that I don't have any other gout attacks because it is the worst. I'm in different gout groups on Facebook. You can call it gout support groups on Facebook. And it's interesting seeing the people that are reporting it, right? I'm going to say this. I don't know a lot of people that look like me that have gout. At least they don't say it, right? A lot of these groups that I'm in, I'm seeing a lot more women than men who are reporting gout, and those that look like me are few and far in between. Wish I could speed this video up, but it's live.
You'll remember when
Or it was live.
at 1/8 of 1% for the year. I got it 1/8, and I was so thrilled. But now we're cutting it 1,000%, 1,200%. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Nobody else could have done it, but I say that modestly. In addition, you think it was easy dealing with these people? It wasn't. You think it was easy saying, your drug, Mr. that we're selling for $1,300 is going to be sold for $250. You know the amazing thing, the stocks all went up. I mean, these guys are fantastic. Because it's going to equalize the world. The world's a bigger place.
Word is a big place.
I was a little surprised to see that, but I'm happy about it. In addition, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk have agreed to provide all of their other medications to Medicaid at most favored nations prices. Most favored nations, meaning that you will pay the lowest price anywhere in the world. That's what we're going to pay. Whereas before they paid low prices, we paid, thousands of percentile ahead more. And to sell these drugs to all consumers at deeply discounted prices via TrumpRx.com. When is TrumpRx.com opening?
The site is open, it will launch in terms of giving people prices before the end of the year.
TrumpRx.com. Did I miss that? Hold on. TrumpRx.com. How can a president have I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me go to Google real quick. When I tried typing it in, TrumpRx.com, it doesn't take me to, here we go. I see a TrumpRx.gov, an official website of the, no way. No, hold on. I'm going to show y'all, share the screen so that y'all can see what it is that I'm looking at. So they had it wrong at this press conference. It's not TrumpRx.com. There's a TrumpRx.gov. Find your medication for the lowest price, coming soon, January 2026. So this is the proper website. So they didn't even have it right during the live stream. TrumpRx.gov. The lowest prescription prices in the UX. See, follow the freaking money. When all of the earlier things was talking about Tylenol and all these other prescription things and everything, and it seemed like Trump was really starting to bash it, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. I like to think that I keep my ear close to the streets on what's going on so that I can make informed decisions for myself. But this is the first that I've heard that there was going to be a Trump RX and that part of his administration was going to be used to create this. I mean, oh my goodness. President Obama's legacy was cemented on the Affordable Care Act, the ACA, right? But he didn't go naming the healthcare marketplace website obamahealthcare.gov. If this thing gets launched and it stays active, like who gets the money? A breakthrough for Americans. President Trump is delivering on promises that experts said were impossible by taking bold action to lower prescription drug prices for American families without sacrificing innovation. So is this his legacy now? Is this what his second term as the 47th president of the U.S. going to be cemented on? Trump RX announced via an executive order September 30th, 2025. I did miss this. I missed this indeed. Okay. Huh. Let's finish the rest of this.
Got to make sure it's successful. It's got my name on it. I don't want to be like so many others. I don't want to be like the train they're building in California. Okay, which has about 15,000% cost overrun. Or the Obama, the beautiful Obama building that he's building in Chicago for the museum, which is now shut up and dead. They got it up, they couldn't finish. It's about, would you say, 5 years behind schedule?
He cannot waste an opportunity to put other people down. How is this? How do y'all call this guy a leader? He's in a leadership position. And I want to respect the president. I respect the position. It's not an easy job. It is not. And I want to respect the position, but he will take every opportunity to shit on anybody else that's not a part of his team.
And about 2,000% over budget. Then he tells us how to run Medicaid. Many of the most widely used drugs will be available for 60% off, or even more than that. In addition, all new medications introduced by Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk to the American market will be sold at the heavily reduced most favored nations price. Most favored nations price estimates. Because they have been thousands of percent lower than what we would sell in many cases. Furthermore, Eli Lilly is investing $27 billion. That's all. And Novo Nordisk will invest $10 billion. That's all. That's peanuts. In the United States to reshore, do a big domestic manufacturing job in the facilities and spend. So Eli Lilly spent $27 billion. Novo is spending $10 billion in the United States. So they're building new plant and equipment. That's part of what will be $20 or $21 trillion this year. There's never been anything like it. I know nobody talks about it, but there's never been anything like, I would say, you would say, there's never been anything like this ever, whether it's China or Europe, or you can take all of Europe, there's never been anything like this. So we're already past 17 trillion. We're going to be, I think by the time the year closes out, we'll have investments of over $21 trillion based on the way we're going. And by the way, tariffs are very important. Without tariffs, perhaps it could be a little bit different, to put it mildly. Tariffs is so important. The decision in the Supreme Court would be devastating to our country if we got a negative, devastating if we got a negative decision. But this is a great day for American health and healthcare, and for all of American patients. These are things that are miracles that have this happen. And they're, we're bringing all our medicines again because we're bringing all our medicines. If you remember where during COVID we made almost no medicine. We had to go to China, we had to go to Ireland, we had to go to other places, UK, to get our medicine. We didn't make it here. Now we're making it. We'll soon be making it all here again because of tariffs. And my election, but because of tariffs much more. For years, politicians have talked about making healthcare affordable, but my administration is actually doing it. Americans deserve the best healthcare in the world, and we're now getting the best healthcare at the lowest price. So I'd like to ask someone who's doing a fantastic job, Secretary Kennedy, to say a few words, followed
Thanks,
by
Pete.
Dr. Ross, Dr. Clark, and then Eli Lilly, CEO David Ricks, and Novo Nordisk CEO Mike Dustar. These are incredible stars in that business. Like Dustar is a big star. And I can tell you that David Ricks is in the world in business, but the business that he's in, he's pharmaceutical. The job he's done with Eli Lilly is incredible. Both of these gentlemen, they really are stars in the truest sense. And it's an honor to have you in the White House. And go to it, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to start by thanking you, Mr. President,
Is he okay?
for declaring war on chronic disease in this country. This is something no American president has ever done.
I don't have my speed thing different. This is how this guy talks. No shade to him. I have a speech impediment. I stutter, but that's interesting. But before I finish that, I was on that TrumpRx.gov website here, and I'm going to go back. So here it is right here. So it says view the executive order. Now, before I click on it, I went to the website myself, whitehouse.gov, and I'm going to share that tab. And I was looking for the executive order that was on the TrumpRx.gov website, and I didn't see it. So these are the ones that were listed. There was a date of September 30th. I only see this one here about unlocking cures for pediatric cancer with artificial intelligence. So we're going to do this live because this was announced by executive order, the American Path to Wellness, but it is not on the whitehouse.gov website. So go back. This is what I'm talking about right down here that I'm highlighting. Trump RX, September 30th, announced by executive order, the American Path to Wellness. When I went looking for that, I didn't see it. So I'm going to click here and see if it pops up. Delivering most favored nation's prescription drug pricing to American patients. So, okay, so this was an executive order back in May. Now, I didn't go back that far. I was on like the 4th page, and I was back towards like June or July. So this is news that's coming back up from this most favored nation pricing, in which our president said that they were going to lower the cost of drugs here in the U.S. And he's not wrong. For certain procedures, people have been going overseas to get medical procedures that are done because the cost of getting it is just cheaper. They can afford it, even to pay just outright cash to have it done overseas than to have it done back stateside. Now, there are some catch-22s to that. One of the reasons why we have a lot of the protections and things that we have in our country, and why I'm going to say I'm favorable to having things done here, is that I'm not trying to shit on other nations, but at least we have a lot of protections and things in place to know that our rights are protected for the most part. I'm not saying that the standard of care in other countries are going to be different. I've had care done in another country. When I was active duty Air Force, I ended up landing in, I forget the country, but I had something that caused me to be sick in a way that nobody could explain. And there was a doctor that was from out of the country that was visiting that came in. He realized what exactly was going on and was able to get me diagnosed and on the proper protocol to get things cleared up for me to where I was able to get back to active duty quicker. Once I was in the hospital for about 3 days. That was a nightmare. So, man, I don't think that this is a bad thing. I don't think that this is bad, but we'll see.
If we want to solve the chronic disease crisis, we have to tackle obesity. Obesity is the number one driver of chronic disease.
Said obesity is the number one driver of chronic disease. I'm not a health person, but I don't disagree with that.
50% of our adult population are obese or overweight. It drives about 50% of healthcare costs in this country.
Is he gonna have a stroke up there?
Diabetes, cardiac diseases. We are going to see a decline because of this historic agreement. We're going to see a decline in cost, but also, more importantly, in the afflictions themselves.
Let me ask y'all this. What's the reason for the obesity, though? What's the reason? Why are Americans more obese than any other nations out there? Is it because we're wealthy? And that wealth drives greed, and that greed drives, laziness? When you travel around the world, you'll see other nations that are a lot healthier looking than we are. I was just in Japan this past July, and you did not see a lot of obese Japanese people. I'm just going to say it just as plainly as I can say it. You did not see obese Japanese people. Yet, I, who myself is classified obese, when I walk out the door, I see a lot more obese Americans in the US. Why? Why isn't that being addressed? Is it our food? Is it our way of life? Have we made things a lot more convenient? Is it culture?
There are, President Trump is the friend of the forgotten American. Obesity is a disease of poverty, overwhelmingly.
Obesity is a disease of poverty. Are we seeing impoverished people? Is that a word? Are those the obese people that we see? That ain't what I see.
And these drugs have only been available for people who have wealth.
We have a comment here. Shout out to this Darium. What up? He said the disease of obesity is a complex condition with multiple contributing factors. Could be diet, physical activity, environment, genetics, etc. It's not one thing, it's many things. I would love for some really smart people to get together to figure out why we in the US are more obese than our friends in other nations. I've been around the world. I've legit traveled all over the world, put my foot into over 20 plus, actually it's probably about 30. It's higher than 30 different countries right now. From back then when I was active duty to even now, you see more obesity among Americans than other nations. When I was in Canada is North America. But inside of the continental US, there were a lot more obese people than there were above the border in Canada. I'm curious. I'm asking the question. God happened to me said junk food is cheaper than healthy foods. It is. We use preservatives and other chemicals than other countries, and our privilege has us blinded. I agree with that too. It's Darium. God happened to me. I agree with everything that y'all are saying. I'm just curious how we can turn it around, and can we do it without drugs? Like, is it possible that we can turn things around without drugs? I'm thankful for the ones that I have. I'm thankful. Hopefully, and I'm going to just knock on wood, it allows me to live a longer, healthier life.
At one point, the majority of prescriptions, the highest concentration of prescriptions in this country, was the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Oh.
What about the people who live in rural areas, who live in food deserts? What about the people in urban areas who live in food deserts and are suffering from obesity and are locked into that system? They can only get ultra-processed foods, which are aggravating the problem. This will be a lifesaver to them. It's not a panacea. It's not a silver bullet. President Trump has also instructed us to address and the root causes of chronic disease. We're doing that about to release dietary guidelines that are going to change the food culture in this country. Going to change the food the military gets. They're going to change the kind of food that our children get. Releasing those in September. The Presidential Council for Physical Fitness is going to get more Americans into, particularly our children, into physical activity so that we can attack the root causes of this. In the meantime, there's nothing more than we can do than lower this price. As I said, it is the number one cause of all drugs. This is the biggest drug in our country.
Okay, I don't disagree with none of what he just said. Now, I'm also say this as well. When you look at our kids, I'm not in the schools like that to say for certain. I don't really see a lot of obese kids. I think I see more now than there were 20 years ago when I was a youngin'. But it's when you get older that you're a little bit more sedentary depending on your job, right? Firefighters, policemen and women, those positions that are people that are active all of the time, you'll still typically see them look more fit and things like that. But if you're into a sedentary job, like my job is a sedentary job, and now a lot of these sedentary jobs give you warnings about the effects that it has on your body, or it will have on your body by being sedentary. And those people that are smart, if you're smart, you're setting up timers, you're getting up, you're being more active, you're consuming your food in a way that's not going to just add pounds around your waistline and things like that. So yes, it does help to start younger. One of my cousins, who played in the NFL, he was the type that when I was in 4th, 5th grade, he was always drinking water. It's like, man, you always drinking water, man. Come and drink some of this Kool-Aid with us. Always drinking water. That translated into him being a healthier adult now. Like, he's one of the more fit people I know. Even though he doesn't play football anymore, he still cares about what he puts in his body and what he consumes and things like that. And he was always like that as a kid. So yes, it is important to change the culture, and I'm all for this. My daughter is in college right now, and one of the things that I'm trying to drill into her head, if you don't want to get the freshman 15 because you're not as active as you were when you were younger, you still need to A, sleep well, B, watch what you eat and drink, and C, remain active. I also need to practice what I preach. It's Darren said, breaking news. There is a fact sheet. President Trump announces major developments in bringing the most favored nation pricing to American patients on the White House website. That's the video that I'm playing now. It's Darren. Thank you. Yep. So this video, normally my Thursday live is about my Zepbound updates. This video went, or this live went out, blah, blah. The White House went live right before I was scheduled to go live. And I had no idea what the announcement was going to be, but I decided to go ahead and play it. So they talked about the weight loss drugs, Wegovy, Zepbound, things like that, and that the prices are going to come down for the most favored nations pricing here in the U.S. They also, before I finish playing this video, it's Darium, made the announcement of TrumpRx.gov. Yes, TrumpRx.gov. It is going to go live at the end of this year. They said during this press conference here from the White House, they gave the TrumpRx.gov website, although they said it incorrectly. They said TrumpRx.com. No, it is TrumpRx.gov. So somebody smart needs to go out there and buy up TrumpRx.com if they want to scam some people. But I'm going to come back here. TrumpRx.gov, right here. It is in the name. It is going to go live. This is what I was wondering when he was bashing Tylenol and all of these other drug companies. You always have to ask yourself why. Why? And here's the why. This is going to be what he's going to submit for as part of his legacy as the 47th president of the U.S.
Or all the MFN announcements we've made, this is going to have the biggest impact on the American people. All Americans, even those who are not on Medicaid and Medicare, are going to be able to get the same price for their drugs, for their GLP drugs. This happened because of the vision of David Ricks, of Mike Dusar, and the other people and the people on our team who figured out a way to align the interests of the shareholders of our company with the health of the American public. And it is a momentous accomplishment. It took months and months of negotiations.
This is good news.
I had a wonderful conversation with Mike Dusar about his experience, and he thanked me for the caliber of people who are on our side of the negotiating team. All
right, stop glazing, people. I don't know these people. Oh, that just went to the end. Oops. Oh, well. I think I messed up by trying to skip ahead and instead went to the end. I was trying not to hear him talk. It was hard to hear him finish. I think other people were just going to do some glazing. Let me see if I can fast forward to somebody else talking or go back to somebody else. Ah, dang it. I messed it up. All right. Well, let's stop sharing. It's not a bad announcement. I don't know what the rest of the people said because literally this was live earlier, but it is not allowing me to finish or go back on the video. Plus, as God happened to me said, time check. Yes, I'm aware of the time. I do have somewhere to be in a bit. But I think overall, the announcement that the White House made about the most favored nations for prescriptions, it is going to make people happy, especially folks whose livelihood and lives depend on some of these drugs. Now, there are the people that are out there that'll say, I try and stay away from drugs. I try and be healthy in the most natural way possible. And great. Like, I'm not an advocate for drug use. I'm not an advocate for healthy use. I'm an advocate for do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. If you can get there a natural way to live a long, healthy life, do it. Good on you. Great for you. If you can do that and have a healthy life, and you take some medication along the way to help you live that long and healthy life, and you can afford it, great for you too. That's my thing. Do the best of what you can in this meat suit that you're wearing while you have the ability to do it. If there are things that can help you do that, it shouldn't cost you your right kidney, 5 pints of blood, and your left pinky toe to be able to afford it. It's great that people out there in this world, not just in the US, but in the world, are coming together, putting their minds together, and they're creating these things, these products, these prescriptions and medicines that can, alter the way that your body handles things. We'll see long term who this is going to benefit. Keith earlier pointed out that, yep, this is definitely something that is going to benefit, and it's a business opportunity for him, his family, and the people that are aligned with him. And somebody's going to benefit in the long run. We'll see if the businesses and the people that are the consumers at the end are going to benefit as well. As Darian said, that you can look at the fact sheet to go along with the press conference. Thank you. Let me see if I can find that real quick before I go. Let me go here. They just posted it. It wasn't there earlier. So there were 2 executive orders that went out today. Let me share my screen here. Thanks, it's Darian. I'm going to go back and share because I had the White House page up. So there is the fact sheet that he's referencing here, which I'm going to go take a look at. And then the Americans are paying less this Thanksgiving. This article went up as well. And this was along the things that came up yesterday that talked about the cost of this holiday. And these are things that they have to get out and get ahead of because of the shutdown and the fact that Thanksgiving's coming up and we're still in a shutdown. A lot of people are wondering like how they're going to enjoy this holiday season with the fact that some people or several people, A, aren't getting certain benefits, and B, aren't even getting a paycheck. Me being one of those people. I haven't had a paycheck from my job since late September? So I've gone a whole month now without a paycheck. I'm gonna take a look at the fact sheet. It's Darium. Thank you. These were some of the things that they talked about. I'm aware of the price here. So the price is gonna go down. Looked at about 75% if I'm doing quick math when purchased through Trump RX for certain things. The price of Zepbound, if approved, will fall. I mean, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. We're gonna have to think a little bit more through this to understand the long-term impacts. Investing in America to secure pharmaceutical supply chains. Yep, because you gotta have a good supply chain. All of the logistics still have to be in effect to make things work. Obesity is one of the key drivers of chronic disease, including risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, strokes, and certain cancers. The administration remains committed to a comprehensive Make America Healthy Again approach that realigns incentives, fosters private sector collaboration, increases public awareness of the importance of diet and exercise, and advances in critical research. We'll see. And then gives a timeline on the promises that were made. Like, I'm not trying to be overly. You should be critical of people that are in leadership positions. And I'm not trying to be overly critical of our president here. Any of the people that are elected that are put into place to enact legislation and things and provide the directives that are supposed to be good and favorable for people going forward should be favorable for everybody that they're responsible for. I'm going to change it and say it that way. So not just the rich, not just those who are wealthy and things like that. It should be something that everybody has the opportunity to take a part of. Time will tell what the legacy of our 47th president is going to end. I'm not going to publicly say one way or another what I think. I can just be critical of what's happening, and everybody should. In a silo, looking at it in a silo, lowering the cost of prescriptions and things that Americans are using, I believe is good for everybody. Other nations that have access to some of these same drugs aren't paying what we're paying over here. The prices actually can be higher. Blue Chew, or what's the erectile dysfunction drug? Got the blue pill. Man, I have to Google it. Wait, should I Google this one? Y'all know the name of the what's that damn erectile dysfunction? You know what? I can Google it. ED pills. That's gonna bug me. What's the medical name for Blue Chew? Medical medical name for Blue Chew. Sildenafil. I messed that up completely. Sildenafil. Whatever that is. However you pronounce them shits. I've read that it costs like $5 overseas, whereas you might be paying like $30 for it here in the US for the same product. Viagra, doggone it, thank you. I don't know why I was tripping. Viagra, yes. Viagra in the States is a little bit more expensive than it is overseas. Don't ask me how I know that. I did not do my update for me. Well, I kind of did. It's week number 10. I was at 271 when I woke up today, so not under 270, which I was 271 last week. I believe the last 2 days, I've eaten a little bit later than usual, and that's what's been a factor. I've looked at increasing my activity here going forward, especially now that I'm furloughed. No significant. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I did have one episode where I woke up at 3 in the morning and my body told me you got 5 seconds to make it to the restroom. If not, you're gonna have an incident on your hands. And I think it was just something that I ate. I think I had something that had cheese in it, and I'm lactose intolerant. So you know what? That's on me because I woke up doing this. I had to run fast. I don't know if that was because of the drug as well or whatnot. I mean, you know, like I said, it could have just been what I had. But overall, no issues so far. As soon as I get done with this, I got to get ready to head out the house. But I'm going to write my doctor to see if I should go up to the 7.5 milligram for my next dose because I have one more shot in the current box that I'm in, and I've seen and read where most people go up, but it depends on the weight loss and a lot of other factors and things of that nature. So no bad side effects for me. The food cravings are staved off for the most part for the first 5 to 5.5 days. Around day 6, when I guess there's a little bit less of the medicine in me, that food noise kind of comes back up. That's how it's been working for me. But other than that, that's all I have. I thought that the announcement today, shout out to It's Darian for highlighting it, was timely, being that I come on and I do my Zepbound updates on Thursdays. I'm going to go back and take a look and do more of a deep dive of that fact sheet. We had Paul Bennett show up in the building as well and give a salute. Salute to Paul for popping in the building. And I've got a couple of comments here, and I'm going to read these before I sign off. God Happened to Me said, it is illegal for a public servant to make money off of their constituents. Find me, or you know what? This is a good topic for me to maybe talk about on a future live stream. What law makes it illegal so that we can start highlighting this stuff? And maybe the right people with the right influence can do something about it. Because I don't know. I'm just going to raise my hand and say, I don't know. As Darian said, could be cortisol with the furlough stress that caused me to not gain. Hey, man, that is something. My sleep hasn't been the best. Personally, I don't think that I'm stressed. I do think that I haven't been as relaxed, but it could be. It could be. Have you noticed any differences based on the injection sites? That is a great question, Proto. So no differences for me. I've only injected. Let me see if I can stand up here. I'm not gonna pull up my shirt, but I've only I've only injected around my stomach. I've only injected like right around your belly button. They talk about different places that you can inject, and I just change where around my belly button that I inject. I use the auto injector, and I haven't noticed anything or any changes because I've only injected in that area. The paper talks about how you can inject in your thigh too. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I'll try that out. Because for me, I just did it on my stomach because I was like, whatever, boom. And I just kept doing it there. But I'm gonna see if injecting it in my thigh does anything different. I appreciate you bringing that up. Okay. Any other questions before I log off? I'm gonna look forward to see as I taper things off, being that I'm on the low end of 270, if by next Thursday I'm under 270. That's my goal. So I'm going to look at being careful about everything. And I say everything that I ingest between now and next Thursday. What I eat and what I drink. And the physical activity that I do here coming up. I know I've got a road trip this weekend going down to see my daughter. The following weekend, we're going to politic it and chop it up with the Bennetts and some other friends. And in between that, I've got some studying to do for a certification that I'm scheduled for. And I'm still furloughed until our elected officials decide to figure things out. Thank y'all for tuning in. I am the actual King Smith. I will be live tomorrow sometime once I figure out how my schedule works out. Y'all take care. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne awaits, I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring. I bring.